of either half, just take that into consideration. You might want to turn us down just a little bit, but it's going to be Sheffield that'll get the game underway with the kickoff. Corey Aston's got ball in hand, so it'll be Whitehaven that have first use of the ball. And our man in the middle this afternoon, Mr. Andy Sweet, will be the man to keep an eye on in the middle. And the man to keep on side. We're underway here at Olympic Legacy Park. Kick-off collected on the full by Lachlan Hannigan, now to be brought forward by Ross Ainley. Ainley's being pushed back a metre or two before being put down. 12-13 metres away from his line. The lines aren't marked out the best here at OLP, so we'll try and keep an eye on that this afternoon. But then it's Chimambe and the man that's going to be taken down. Foul finds Lucas Castle trying to bring his side forward in the early going. Put down onto his back. 22 metres away from his own line. Goes right now into the hands of Ross Ainley. Ainley gets it out there to Lachlan Hannigan. Looking to go from in the early going here to Whitehaven. Didn't have too much support on his right hand side, and it's being wrapped up instead just short of the halfway line. Newton in a dummy half. Mason gets it across then to Ross Ainley. Ainley just puts his head down, runs it forward as he does all so often. It's going to be the 5 and last, just over the halfway line, in and around centre field. Goes right into the hands of Hannigan. Hannigan's going to put the kick up high. It's going to be Matty Marsh out the back, waiting to collect it on the full. Straight away gets it then to Ben Jones Bishop, who is in the centre of the field, and he's going to be met there by Jake Carter. Owen McCarren in there as well, and they've made it to around about 22 metres away from their own line. First tackle, Josh.
Yeah, it was a very good opening set. Ross Ainley just looked like he was taking a little settler and just tipped it on Hannigan. Dawson Jones had dropped back and really expecting a downfield kick that never really looked like it would come in, and it just opened up for him. And if that's how Jonty Gorley wanted to start a game, that's excellent for him. Now they've got to back it up in D.
So Dickinson's the man to fetch it forward for the Eagles now. I think this will be the fourth tackle, potentially just short of halfway. Goes left from Halifax to find Aston. Aston then finds Joel Farrell. High tackle, Lewis Baxter. I think he thought to give himself up there. To be fair, from where we were, it didn't look all that high, and I think Andy Sweet just saying that Lewis Baxter essentially was a bit sympathetic towards Joel Farrell there, and it's going to be the first penalty of the afternoon to the Eagles. So it's going to be Aston that'll put it into touch, and they're going to start this 20 metres out from the Whitehaven line, which is not where Jonty Gorley will have wanted his side to be in the first full defensive set of the game. The Eagles man's been taken down in line with the right hand side post. Halifax in there at dummy half. It's going to go left to Aston. Aston then comes across to Marsh. Marsh then gets it across to Glover, who steps inside, and it's going to get the ball out there to Matty Dawson Jones, and we're 2.5 minutes gone here, and it's not the start that Whitehaven will have wanted. It's the perfect start for Mark Aston's Sheffield Eagles. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online into the 3rd minute. It's Sheffield 4, Haven 0.
Yeah, it's not what would have wanted after a good exit set. A 4th tackle penalty that was a soft one really. Joel Farrell just coming back on the inside, and it wasn't a lazy arm. It was just a wrap round that nowadays are giving us a high tackle, and then they need a bit more bite defensively on the line there. Again, just went to the left edge, and they bit in too much on Farrell again, and they just played out the back. And Glover's thrown a bit of a smart dummy, get past Chimambe, I believe is how you pronounce it, and then
Chimambe,
yeah. And obviously they've gone in the corner, so that's what they say about penalties. Penalties equal points, so that they need to tidy that up, and it were a soft one to give, but they're given nowadays.
Matty Dawson Jones with his 13th try of the season for the former Lee man. We've got Corey Aston now lining this up 25 metres out, but I was about to say a blade of grass, but it's a 4G surface, so he's a blade of AstroTurf, whatever it is. He's a smidgen off the touchline, taking as much time as he can, just getting his breathing under control. Comes at it now, does Corey Aston, and slots it over, does the Sheffield Eagles halfback. So it is Sheffield Eagles 6, Whitehaven 0, and as we said, Josh, it's not the start that Jonty will have wanted, and the message needs to get out there. We don't need penalties like that, especially on a warm day as it is out there.
Yeah, there's no shade on the pitch. It's going to be hot out there. The rubber black pellets in the 4G, and their feet will be really warm, and you can't have penalties even on a cold day, but certainly not on a hot day, and if you're doing it tough.
So Eagles fetch it forward through Eddie Batty. He's pushed back 2 or 3 metres to around about 12 away from his own line. Halifi in there at dummy half. Now Dickinson looking to fetch it forward for the Eagles. Makes it to 18 or so away from his own line, I think. Is it? No, sorry. It's 30 metres away from his own line. These markings really aren't the best here at OLP, but then it's going to be Evan Hodgson put down onto his back. Goes left now into the hands then of Joel Farrell. Farrell says he's on his shoulder on that occasion. He swings out to the tackle and nearly got round 2 or 3 tackles with them before being taken down by Ross Ainley in the Whitehaven half. Now Halifi goes left into the hands then of Dickinson once more, and he's put down onto his front, 5 and last. 30 metres out, comes right into the hands of Hansen, the former Swinton man. He gets the kick away. It's going to be Joey Romeo, another former Swinton man, who has to rise for that. He catches, but then he's pinned straight away by the Sheffield Eagles defence, and Mason dived in at dummy half. Tia now fetching it forward for Whitehaven. 12 metres out as he's wrapped up. Mason once more in at dummy half. Chamambe comes in from the opposite wing to try and help his side out here. The wing is put down 22 metres away, and it's going to be a penalty for Whitehaven, and probably a relieving penalty because the Eagles were just getting on top defensively there. Yeah,
I mean, as they were going down, I thought they could potentially be arguing for a crusher, and if he'd have stayed down, he probably would have got a penalty. But I'm pleased Mr. Sweet picked that up. They were all over him on his head, and it's what Whitehaven needed. They get him out. They're up on the 40, and it relieves a bit of pressure, and they can get back into this game.
That ball landed just right in front of us, protecting more of the equipment rather than anything else. I'll be completely honest here at OLP. But Whitehaven are now just short of halfway as McCarren is the man that's taken down. Castle now fetches it forward and takes Whitehaven over the halfway line. Put down onto his front. Newton lining weight at dummy half. Goes into the middle with King. King then out the back now to Hannigan. Hannigan then crossing Mason. Mason gets it, tries to get it away to Evans. And the ball's going to hit the floor. And it's going to be Matty Dawson-Jones is trying to get away. He read that very, very well. Was it Matty Marsh, I think, on Jake Mason? And it's going to be the Dawson-Jones who plays this ball inside of the Whitehaven half. Coming across there now to Evan Hodgson. Hodgson is going to be put down onto his front. 35 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Halifi in at dummy half. Looks to take the dummy on and nearly gets away from Ross Ainley there. Just taken down at the last minute is Halifi, but 20 metres out. Batty drives in at dummy half, goes a couple of pairs of hands. Corey Aston to Marsh. There's numbers on that left hand side, and just able to step inside is Matty Marsh. Looking, Hannigan's complaining he's been taken out. Referee Andy Sweet isn't interested in that, and neither is he touch judge, and it's going to be Matty Marsh for his 13th try of the season. That's eventually just able to put the ball down underneath the sticks despite the protest of Lachlan Hannigan, and it's 2 tries in the opening 8 minutes here at OLP as Sheffield Eagles find themselves 10-0 to the good.
Yeah, it came from the error at the halfway line. I understand what they were trying to do. They got a 4-on-3, but it was always going to be a high risk play with the way Sheffield defended and were hitting them individually. Obviously they've come up with the ball, and Ross Ainley's come up with a good tackle in middle at field, but he's lost the floor. There's nobody else who's managed to get on the top of that, and they've played a quick play off the back of that. I think if there were a video ref, I think they probably would have looked at that, because Joel Farrell were on the outside shoulder of Hennigan, so it would be an obstruction penalty, and he's ran through the hole where Hennigan would have slid across onto. But the referee wasn't having any of it straight away, and obviously Matty Marsh has just scampered in, pretty much untouched there, and it's come from a Whitehaven error, and then a complete explosion at the ruck, and I think Ross Ainley probably would have been better off just hanging on to the Sheffield hooker then, and just giving a 6 again, and letting the boys get set.
Aston able to tag on the extras from right in front on this occasion, and I said to Jonty Gorley earlier this week, Sheffield side, and they'll be looking to try and get back to winning ways, and we're not even 9 minutes gone here, and they're 12-0 up against Whitehaven, Sheffield, and Whitehaven just need to make sure they live with this Sheffield side again for the next 10 minutes or so, or they're in danger of potentially being blew out of this game, as kick-off collected by Hansen and then fetched forward by Eddie Batty. Batty put down around about 15 metres away from his own line. Halifi in there at dummy half. Now Evan Hodgson is the man to fetch it forward. Hodgson keeps his legs pumping. He's made 5-6 post-contact metres there, and he's still looking to go forward. He's made another 2 or 3 since I've said he's made 5 or 6. Just short of his own 40. Goes left. Joel Farrell looking to come back inside his Farrell. It takes 3 to fetching him down, and Lachlan Hannigan was in and around trying to get involved there as well. Put down exactly on halfway. Dickinson now the man to fetch it forward, and Dickinson's going to be wrapped up 38 metres away from the Whitehaven line, just to the left of centre. Halifa's going to go left into the hands of Aston and out the back to Matty Marsh. Marsh with the dummy, then gets it out to Glover, gets the offload away, and it's going to be collected by Matty Marsh. I don't know how, because he was 3 or 4 metres ahead of the play when that offload come out, so he done well to get back. It's out in the hands of Evan Hodgson. It's going to be the 5 and last, but they're 20 metres out, just in line with the left-hand side post. Halifax goes left into the hands end of Aston looking for a little kick over the top. Mason's got to get there. Chamambe does instead. He's a tall man, but he's pushed back quite easily there. He's the whole KR Loney, and it's a goal line dropout, and it's just into the 11th minute. It still remains Eagles 12, Haven 0.
Yeah, it was much better defence from Whitehaven then. The only time it ever really looked threatening were when they were trying to force Jones into touch, and he thrown the ball back in. As you say, Matty Marsh just sort of come up with it when probably shouldn't have done. But it was difficult to kick to defend there. You know, Chamambe, he's caught ball, but he's not really got any chance of doing anything with it.
That is a hell of a goal line dropout from Jake Mason, and I tell you, it's Tyler Dickinson who's collected it on his own 10 metres. It was over the head of Matty Marsh. He got the connection he wanted, did Jake Mason, and then it bounced another 25-30 metres. So it means from the goal line dropout, second tackle that's still behind their own halfway line here are the Eagles. Hodgson is the man to take it forward, 5 short of halfway. Halifax, he's in there at dummy half, goes left to Aston and out the back to Matty Marsh. Marsh then finds Glover, finds Dawson Jones, and he's going to be taken down. We're going to come back for the penalty because Ryan King had taken Cody Aston out there in back play. I think we've made it just been, that half a second late, and you're not going to get away with it these days. So we're going to come back for the penalty, and I think it is Cody Aston put down in back play.
It is, but I mean, I'm not saying you should hit players off the ball or out like that, and I do think it was probably just borderline, but that's what we needed. Sheffield keep going at Whitehaven's right edge. Ashton keeps biting deep into the line, taking Joel Farrell with him, and they're playing out the back with a box shape, but there's not been that inside push from the Whitehaven middle that's been able to get across from marker or from the other side to help that edge out, and they're having to backpedal all the time, and that's why they keep getting stripped and losing quite serious yardage. So obviously Ashton's up on his feet and looks good to go, but those middles really need to work from marker and get into him early on and make him, if he's going to play off the line, he's playing 5 yards off it, and it's easy for them to just map out and slide off them.
Second penalty of the afternoon for the Eagles, and they're going to start this fresh yet 15 metres out, and it's just what we've said a minute ago, that Whitehaven need to survive this early onslaught from Sheffield. They're not looking to do so at the moment. Comes across a couple of pairs of hands from the tap before coming down to Eddie Batty, 10 metres out here in line with the left hand side post. Halifax in there at dummy half, going to come right. Hodgson, then Hansen then finds Wellham looking to step back inside. Carter's there, McCarren's there, Castle's involved in the tackle as well. 2 or 3 metres out. Halifax in at dummy half, goes left. Hansen now to Eddie Batty, put down onto his front, his Batty. Newton and Ailey involved in the tackle, in line with the left hand side post now, still 2 or 3 metres out. Halifax finds Aston, finds Joe Farrell's looking to step back inside. Mason's able to get there, but he's got to be pinned for the high tackle, similar to what Baxter was penalised for only in the early stages. And it's going to be another penalty and another fresh set of 6 for the Eagles.
Yeah, I do feel Joel Farrell's playing for that. The other 2 I thought were a bit soft, and that time as soon as anyone's touching him near his shoulder, he's just stopping and saying it's a penalty, and I think the ref's pandering to him a little bit there.
Tyler Dickinson now following the tap from the penalty, 2-3 metres out, in line with the sticks, goes left. Hansen, they've got numbers on that side. Aston finds Matty Marsh gets the offload away, then Matty Dawson Jones, and despite the best effort to Lewis Baxter, it's going to be Dawson Jones in on that left hand side corner for his second try of the afternoon. It will be his 14th of the season, and they could see that just absolutely loaded up that left hand side. Had the Eagles. Dawson Jones in at the corner once more. It is Sheffield Eagles 16, Whitehaven 0.
Yeah, it's a similar story to when Featherstone played Whitehaven. Unfortunately, they are peppering that right edge, and they've got to get out from the middle to help them. They can't keep expecting them to defend each play 7 on 5 or 7 on 6 or 6 on 5 as that one was, and they've got to get off the line, and they've got to work harder from the inside. And again, there was another relatively quick play at ball from what was a settling carry back to the post from Ed Batty, and they're the ones that when they're just settling, you've got to catch them, you've got to fold them up, and you've got to defend on your terms, and then you can set out and get your spacing a little bit better. And it's a bit of a tough start for Whitehaven, and I don't think Manic Middle has helped them, but their own discipline's probably not helping themselves either.
Going at more than a point a minute at the moment are the Sheffield Eagles. Scores elsewhere in the Championship: Batley 6, Halifax 0, Doncaster 6, Barrow 0, Wakefield 6, Featherstone 0. Drop down into League 1, Hunslet 6, Workington 0, Keighley 6, Midland 6, Rochdale 0, Oldham 4. Aston with the conversion and able to slot it over from the touchline once more. He's the Eagles halfback just into the 16th minute here at Olympic Legacy Park, and it is Sheffield Eagles 18, Whitehaven 0. And Whitehaven have really got to get a grip of themselves, especially in defence here, Josh, or they've got to be in for a long, long afternoon.
Yeah, very much so. They've not really done a right lot wrong, but they've not done a right lot right either, and that's why they're in that position. They need a good set here. If they can force an error, then fine. If not, pin Sheffield back into their own half, and then reload and go again. But need to shore up that right side for sure.
It's in the hands of Farrell now. This will be second tackle when he's wrapped up. Slightly different kick-off from Mason, and Hansen had to come forward towards it, but never in too much danger. Farrell's going to play this ball 35 away from his own line. Gone down the short side. Corey Aston then trying to find, is it Glover? Chimambe's was one-on-one initially with Glover, but then he's been joined in there by Will Evans. Yes, it is. And he's wrapped up 5-6 metres short of halfway. Coming back towards the middle now with Aston, then finds Eddie Batty. Newton trying to put the shot on Batty, trying to force that error as he was carrying it one-handed. Bit of a scruffy play of the ball, but referee Andy Sweet says it's okay. Hansen then comes off his foot and then collects it. He's going to be the 5 and last, playing it short of the Whitehaven 40. It was Foster and then it's going to be Jake Mason that collects that kick. And Mason's going to be through. Mason could be through. He's going to use his space. It's Italian International. Whitehaven's going to hit back. Fantastic. Absolutely what Whitehaven needed. Just short of the 17th minute here at OLP. And Jake Mason come from absolutely nowhere. Some of the Sheffield fans around us are calling for the late tackle on Corey Aston. Carter did clatter him, but he obviously just in enough time to make sure referee Andy Street wasn't interested with that. Mason's gone through the gap. Whitehaven have hit back. It's Sheffield Eagles 18, Whitehaven 4.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Yep, Aston probably wore it a little bit late, but Sheffield got to play to whistle, and collectively they just stopped, and it was pretty half-hearted chase. The right edge, the centre winger came up well, but the middle never moved, and Jake Mason's done a fantastic job there. He sort of poked his head through a little bit and thought, hang on a minute, I can turn burners on here and go the length, and he smoked Matty Marsh and Dawson Jones, and it was brilliant to see. Well, watch that all afternoon.
I was going to say, you could tell he sort of was bringing the ball forward, and he was just, as a fullback would do, and then he realised there was a gap, probably where Aston would have been, and he's real, I can go here, and he just went, and no one was keeping in touch with him. We've seen that so often from Jake Mason this season, where he's been able to make breaks like that. It's his 17th appearance of the season for the Whitehaven fullback, his 11th try, and Carter's added the extras on from right in front. So a minute ago we were saying Whitehaven needed to get a grip. They've been able to do so, Josh, and they've reduced the deficit to 12 points.
Yeah, that's what they needed. They just needed a toehold in the game. Sheffield not made many any errors at the moment. Not giving any. Might give one penalty away so far. So it stops that rot. It gets them on the board. And they can get the tails up. They get a bit of a breather now, and it's they're getting the ball on their terms, and what they choose to do with it is up to them. And I'm pleased for them. That was deserved. They've been working hard, so they've got a reward.
Aston with the kick-off. Chimambe's having to get there. He bounces, and Whitehaven have kick-off troubles once more. And when you've just got back into the game, you haven't been in it all that often. That's the last thing you want, to have Sheffield Eagles playing this ball 10 metres towards centre field.
Yeah.
I can't even say he's lost it in the sun, because the sun's behind us.
Yeah.
Hence why we're in the shade.
I think looking at the stand, it's going to be a little bit off, and it could have been in his eyes, but yeah, he's got nowhere near it as the lad, and yeah, it's not what they wanted.
Gone left, couple of pairs of hands. Farrell looking to come back inside now, and Farrell.
He's done same
I don't know if Joel Farrell's got a magnet into his head, whether it's a human magnet, but that's the third time he's been caught high, and he's the only one that's been caught high so far this afternoon is Joel Farrell. So I don't know if Whitehaven have realised we need to hit him, but if you're going to hit him, you need to hit him legally, first of all, and that's Whitehaven conceding their 4th penalty of the afternoon, 3 of them to come against Joel Farrell.
Yeah, he's been, I think it's 2 months on trot, he's been in the Championship Team of the Month. So he's obviously going well. Yeah, I do think he's milking him a little bit.
Hodgson onto his front, Halifax. He's going to look to go left and then initially decides to scoop from dummy half, and he's just fetched down half a metre short of the line. Eddie Batty of all people dives in at dummy half, then he's going to go left. Pass isn't the best as you'd expect from a prop forward, and Aston had to bend for it. Wellham then comes in from the centre berth to the middle to take it forward, and then they're going to try and he's nearly through there was Chris Wellham, stacking numbers up on the right hand. It's a 6 again, comes out now to Jack Hansen. Hansen then comes across to Hodgson, and he's just going to be fetched down short. Well, that is tackle 1. Halifax in there at dummy half, goes left towards the middle now with Hansen, then to Eddie Batty. Batty's going to be wrapped up. King's in there, Ainley's in there. Castle was involved as well, just to the left hand side of the post. Halifax going to go left into the hands of Aston. Aston takes it towards the line. Matty Marsh is in there, or is it Glover? It was Glover. Marsh was on his outside, pushed back 4 to 5 metres, playing this 10 metres out. Back towards the middle now. Aston finds Hansen. Pass wasn't the best, just had to wait. Then just obviously up now to Hodgson. Ainley and King's both there. Centre of the field, Halifax is going to go left or right. He's going to go left into the hands of Aston. Comes then out the back to Marsh, and he gets through Evans, and he gets through the tackle from Chamambe. And is he going to be? He has got that ball down despite the best efforts. I think it's Lewis Baxter. It's not Baxter. It's going to be there. Sorry, it's Lachlan Hannigan. But despite his best efforts, it's going to be. I think it was Matty Marsh who just stepped back inside. So it's going to be Matty Marsh's 2nd try of the afternoon, and it's Eagles 22, Whitehaven 6.
Yeah, it will probably come in. They'd had a couple of opportunities where they'd sort of half got their head through, and again it's that Whitehaven right edge, and I know from Matty Marsh's time at York, he's a very good switched on rugby player, and he counts numbers on the other team, and if you watch him when they're in attacking field, he'll go back towards the play ball and he'll sort of stand behind it while it's going on, and he counts the numbers, and he just adds one more to the other side where he wants to go. And before that play went, I watched him. He already went outside the back of Joel Farrell, and Aston's run a drop off and then just in a little block shape round back to him, and he's gone through well. Will Evans has made a sort of clawing attempt, and Chamambe's reached out as well, and Matty Ashton's no doubt about it. He's a very silky footballer, but Whitehaven, I'm sure, will absolutely be aware that's the way that he attacks, and that's the way Sheffield attack, and they've got to keep an eye for that, and they're really going to start working harder from this right edge and shut these players down.
Unless I've missed something, unless there's been an interchange bid, I'm not sure where that applause has come from, but Corey Aston then coming it from the touchline. He's 4 from 4, Corey Aston, 3 of them have been from that far left-hand side touchline, as it is for the Sheffield Eagles in this first half. It's Sheffield Eagles 24, Whitehaven 6. In all fairness to Corey Aston, he's not normally, or he actually is, he's normally the regular goal kicker, but you can see why. It was 87 goals before the start of today's game, and he's just passed the 90 mark this afternoon. Sheffield Eagles 24, Whitehaven 6. Mason with the kickoff once more, just holds up once more, but it's going to be collected by Hansen. Hansen has to then fetch it forward himself, and he's going to be wrapped up. McCarren is in there. James Newton's involved there as well, playing this 18 metres out, 15 in from this near touchline. Wellham was in at dummy half, and now it's Eddie Batty, the man, to fetch it forward. Batty's going to be put down onto the front. King's involved. Castle was the first man out. Ainley's in there as well. Slow play of the ball. Joey Romeo down below is shouting for an incorrect play of the ball. Aston's going to be the man that's wrapped up. You won't say that an awful lot this afternoon as he's put down onto his back, 30 metres away from his own line. Halifax goes left into the hands of Matty Marsh. Marsh steps back inside, or looks to, tries to get around Hannigan. He's not going to do so, as he's in there with Newton now and trying to push him back. Eventually put down now, sort of 8 metres short of halfway. Halifax is going to come towards the middle with Aston. Aston then just opposite up to Tyler Dickinson. And Dickinson's going to take his way over the halfway line, trying to get onto his front to try and get a fast play of the ball, but he's just slowed down ever so slightly. It is the 5 and last. Comes right now into the hands of Hansen. Charged down by McCarren, and while he's got it in his game over McCarren, do you really need it while you're 18 points down? Maybe just try and get the ball in back. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't, but means Whitehaven are actually going to get the ball back here now, as it's Sheffield Eagles have lost that ball in the contact. Will Evans is away, But Andy Sweet had already, it's going to be scrum down, head and feet to the Eagles. That's why he's pulled it back.
Yeah, I've said for years the charge down rule should change. You're getting punished for doing something good. It should be back to 1 if you gather it, but if the kicking team gathers it, then it should be tackle 5 still. But obviously, no one listens to me.
No one listens to anyone in the game. It's always, it seems to be decisions are made without consultation. Let's move on before we say something we shouldn't. Scrum down, head and feet to the Eagles. 35 metres out from the Whitehaven line. It's going to be Chris Wellen on this right-hand side. It's going to be Eagles in for their 5th try of the afternoon here at OLP, and he's just waited for Lewis Baxter just to come past him. He hadn't touched the ball down, and he's put it down underneath the sticks. With 25 minutes gone, they're still going at more than a point a minute out of Sheffield Eagles. It is now Sheffield Eagles 28, Whitehaven 6.
Yeah, you'd want to say it was a slick scrum play, but I'm not sure it particularly was. They went 4 on 3, and McCarren's worked hard to get across, but they bit round the back, and they've just hit Wellham on a short lead, and it's a strong fend on McCarren, but and sort of jogged him really from 30 out, and then dummied putting the ball down and got under the stick. So really not what Whitehaven need, and it all comes from doing something good from charging down or blocking a kick, and then ending up 6 points to the worst. Doing it a bit tough.
Batley 10, Halifax 0, Doncaster 12, Barrow 0, Wakefield 12, Featherstone 0, Widnes 0, Bradford 6, York Knights 8, Swinton 0. Dropping down into League 1, Hunslet 6, Workington 4, Keighley 12, Midland 6, Rochdale 0, Oldham 8, Aston is 5 from 5, and here at OLP, Sheffield Eagles 30, Whitehaven 6, and apart from that Whitehaven side, they come from absolutely nothing, Josh. The Sheffield Eagles have been completely on top in this opening 26 minutes.
It's one of them where they're probably reviewing, after 30, conceded 30 points, and they've come from nothing, and just from playing rugby in wrong areas, really.
Collected the kick-off, did Hansen. Batty finds Halifax, gets across a couple of pairs of hands. Farrell's looking to come back inside. You say this so often from Sheffield side, they will play from player 1. Glover's in his hands and he's trying to get it away, and first tackle eventually comes on the Whitehaven Sheffield Eagles 40. Corey Aston now brings it along the line, finds Jack Hansen then trying to get through the gap. He's nearly through. He's the former Swinton man. Tackle wasn't quite completed. Carter gets to have a second attempt. Halifax dives in a dummy half. Matty Marsh now out the back, then to Aston, then finds Wellen down this side, trying to put a little kick forward. McCarren up against Matty Marsh, and Batty's trying to get there, and Lachlan Hannigan comes from the opposite side of the field to knock it dead. Otherwise the Eagles were in for their 6th try of the afternoon. They've got some confidence back after back-to-back defeats of the Sheffield Eagles, and playing like a side who has scored 5 tries before the half-hour mark.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've shifted it straight from the kick, then they've shifted it straight to the other side of the field on first tackle, and and they've ended up getting a repeat set from what was a very dangerous grubber from Matty Marsh. So they need something here. Do Whitehaven? Let's get a good contact on Batty from drop out, and off we go. Yeah,
Batty then found Tyler Dickinson, who's the man now to fetch it forward. He's put down 30 metres out, just to the right of the post as Whitehaven defending, left as Sheffield are attacking. Halifax comes right now into the hands of Hansen. Hansen looks to step back inside. He's going to be wrapped up by James Newton and Hugh Worthington, fresh onto the field, as is Noah High as well, replacing is it Lucas Castle and Ross Ainley. Back inside then to Evan Hodgson from Eddie Batty, gets the offload away to Tyler Dickinson. Dickinson's then going to be pulled down, but he's only 2 metres short. You feel it's just means it's going to be that over in a minute, and they are going to be over on that left hand side. Matty Dawson-Jones is going to be the man that's going to put the ball down in for his hat-trick short of the half-hour mark. You feel they were just delaying the inevitable with Whitehaven, and it's now Sheffield Eagles 34, Whitehaven 6. 3rd try of the afternoon from Matty Dawson-Jones, takes it up to his 15th of the season. What an afternoon it is for this home side here at OLP.
Yeah, that were probably softest of the lot. I mean, Evans and Hennigan got off the line to try shut down the play before it even went, but once again they were lacking numbers before the play even started, and Jake Mason was in what you call an A defender. He were first one in, and then it was Evans, Hennigan, Chimambe trying to cover 40% of the field, and against 6 attackers, that they're always going to struggle in that situation, and Whitehaven really need to address that right edge. I've said it a few times now, and they've got to do something about it, because Sheffield are just absolutely running riot there, and they know they can. They just get into either a left stick or middle at posts, and then they're just playing that block shape with Farrell again, and just cutting loose out at back. So yeah, tough afternoon.
It's a tough afternoon. It's very warm out there as well, and Whitehaven's done the majority, if not all of the defending. I can't remember Whitehaven. We're going to get a kick on our necks at the end of this first half, because all we've done is look right from our position, because Whitehaven, despite scoring that try, come from deep. They've done nothing in the Sheffield Eagles, what would be their red zone, out of the Josh. And we're going to be, me and Josh Mortimer are going to have to hope. We're going to have to hope Sheffield do maybe the same in the second half, just so that we don't go to bed with bad necks this evening, as Aston knocks over his 6th of the afternoon. He's 6 from 6. He's 100% with the boot. 12 points from the boot of Cody Aston, and it's Sheffield Eagles 36, Whitehaven 6. They were 14-0 down last week at this point. They're 36-6 down this week. It's just been a poor first half again, once again, from Whitehaven.
Sheffield haven't made the sub yet. It's a hot, warm day. They're 30 odd minutes in, and they've still got the starting two. And I think that probably shows the level of work that they've had to do. That a lot of it's been in good ball, which is very easy to do. Finally we got
finally what Whitehaven need. They've been able to force the error, whether Batty's tried to get up and play the ball a bit too fast and has lost it, and it's going to be a scrum down, head and feed to Whitehaven, 10 metres out centre field here, and they'll be hoping, first of all, they need to hope they can hit back quickly, and then if they can, add the extras, reduce the gap, and then hopefully try and get something else again before half time, just to try and make it a contest, Josh.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what they're going to look for. If they can't get any points here, they just need to complete. Just put Sheffield under a bit of pressure, and just try play their way back into this game.
T is wrapped up 3 or 4 metres short of the line, comes into the hands now of Noah High. High's going to be put down onto his back, just to the left hand side of the post. Ellis is in there at dummy half, on for James Newton, goes right into the hands of Carter. Hannigan then comes across to Lewis Baxter. Haven't been able to complete the set. Baxter lost it. It sort of hit his chest, and then he's going to be taken down. We're going to come back for the no advantage scrum down, and they'll be in the exact same place. Whitehaven fed the scrum only sort of about a minute ago. Scrum down, head and feet to the Eagles. Eagles 36, Whitehaven 6. 32 minutes gone.
It's not what you want. It was good shape. It was good movement, but it's hit Baxter in the chest, and he's not caught it. And I think, had he caught it, he's got a one-on-one with Aston, 5 yards off the line, and you've got to rate his chances there. But they need to double down in defence now and try pin them back.
Hansen looking to come down, he's nearly through, he gets you off all the way, then it lands at Chris Wellham. Wellham's going down this right hand side, Mason's on the chase, he's been fended off there as Jake Mason, and it's going to be Sheffield Eagles 7th of the first half, and just pass it inside to Alex Foster, because that's going to be Alex Foster's first try of the season. Chris Wellham, he's already scored 11 of them this season. In fact, he scored 12, because he scored the 5th try of the afternoon for the Eagles, so he's able just to add it on and pass it on to his teammate. And it's now Sheffield Eagles have hit 40, short of 33 minutes played here at OLP. Whitehaven are in for a long afternoon. Sheffield Eagles 40, Whitehaven 6.
Yeah, it's basics as well. They broke from that scrum, and then they've just had a settling carry, and then it's 3-on-2 on the short side, and Hansen's just got his head through, and it's simple things that you number up short side first, and you deal up from there, and they've not peeled off. They've not trusted their inside, and it's not been there. And then Mason's made a pretty poor attempt to chop down Liam Wellham once he's broken away. He's gone high. He's clawed football. And I think if he'd have just pinned his lug holes back and gone ball and all, he'd have probably rolled him over at touchline. But yeah, that's probably an epitome of some dumb decisions that Whitehaven are making this half.
I'll tell you what, the busiest guys of the afternoon are these two down below us, and that's the Sheffield Eagles social media team. They're uploading highlights onto Instagram, they're updating Twitter feeds. Honestly, the steam effect is coming off the laptops and phones down below us, because that's how much action there has been here at Olympic Legacy Park. As you can probably tell by the music behind us, Corey Aston remains 100% with the boot. Sheffield Eagles 42, Whitehaven 6, just about to tick over, nearly 44 and a half gone here at OLP. 42 points to 6. Kickoff goes slightly deeper on this occasion and collected by Ben Jones-Bishop. He's the man to fetch it forward, put down onto his front, was onto his back and was able to twist. Hansen goes left into the hands of Blake Broadbent, who's now fresh onto the field. So they've made their first change eventually, have the Eagles. Halifi goes left into the hands of Hodgson, goes left to Aston. Now Jesse Senilafedu, who's also fresh onto the field now as well. Put down onto his front on halfway. 5 metres in from the far touchline. Pass from Aston was high, but he was able to collect it. Dickinson now is the man to fetch it forward. He's going to be wrapped up just over halfway. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport. 35 minutes gone. Sheffield 42, Whitehaven 6. Aston now comes out the back to Hansen. Foster then finds Wellham. It's going to come off the hands of Joey Romeo. It's going to be scrummed down head and feet to the Sheffield Eagles. Otherwise, Ben Jones-Bishop was down, Weir, and going down, potentially going for this right-hand side corner.
Yeah, there's not many quicker than Jones-Bishop in the league, I think. So I think if he'd have got away, then it was probably going to be another 6 points. But yeah, it's just, Sheffield, obviously the confidence is sky high, so they're just playing every play, and it makes it even more difficult for Whitehaven to defend. And they need to come up with some defensive wins. They need to bend the backs, get some solid contacts, and just slow them down rather than just letting them roll up the middle of the field. And it's easier said than done, there's no doubt about it.
Dickinson put down onto his back, the 10 metres out of the Eagles. Halifi goes left, ball hits the floor. Matty Marsh is the man to collect it for the Eagles. 4 minutes remain to the half-time hooter. Chris Wellham with the offload back into the hands of Matty Marsh. Back in now to press onto the field. Blake Broadbent, he's going to be pulled down just short of the line. To the right hand side of the post, come right into the hands of Hansen. Hansen puts a little kick in, and Mason just has to knock it dead. It's going to be a goal line dropout force. There's been 2 goal line dropouts forced already. That's the 3rd on the previous 2. Sheffield's gone over on the next set. It's not the best omen here for Whitehaven.
Yeah, they're doing it tough. All they seem to be doing is just defend, and they've come up with 6 pretty decent tackles there, and they're obviously Sheffield, it's a smart kick, it's a difficult kick to deal with, and it's one of them pressure ones where you're always going to get a repeat set from. So you need another Jake Mason boomer really.
Goes over halfway before being anywhere near an Eagles player. Aston put it onto his short and barely lose fresh onto the field. Tell you what, 42-6 up, and you're able to fetch the likes of Blake Broadbent, Bailey and Jesse Senilafedu off the bench. Just shows you the task it's facing Whitehaven this afternoon. Halifi gets the offload away into the hands of Hugh Worthington, and exactly just what Whitehaven needed. Yeah. They needed something there. They needed an error, and they've got the ball back in the hands, because I can't remember the last time Whitehaven trying to fetch it forward. Joey Romeo's being caught high, and it's going to be a penalty to Haven 2.5 minutes before the half-time hooter.
Well, I mean, they were miles offside, never mind a high shot. Paul Ladd literally caught it and got clobbered. But yeah, I mean, when you're 42-6 up, they're the penalties you don't mind giving, because you're high on life really. But yeah, Whitehaven obviously probably from a result base, the game's probably gone, but there's still plenty of things for them to play for, notably pride, and they could do with something just before half time.
It's going to be Lachlan Hannigan to kick the ball into touch, and he's made a good 20 I think he's been hard done by there, but I think they knocked at least 5 metres off his kick. It was pulled on halfway. Will Evans takes the taps and takes it towards his own 40. The Sheffield 40. Comes left now into the hands of Lewis Baxter. Baxter's going to be put down onto his back, centre field, 20, these markings, 35 metres out. Ellie's in there, the dummy half. Comes left then into the hands of King. Haven't said his name an awful lot this afternoon, but we haven't said anyone in Whitehaven's names an awful lot this afternoon. That's how devoid of possession they have been. Comes left now into the hands of Hugh Worthington. Wrapped up is the Welsh international, just to the left hand side of the post, sort of 12-13 metres out, goes right to King. King then finds Noah High, put down onto his back is Noah High. It's going to be the 5 and last, just to the right hand side of the post, 3 metres out, goes right into the hands of Hannigan. Hannigan with a crossfield kick. Chimambe will try and raise the highest. It's going to be knocked back, is it? Knocked back, goal line dropout. It's going to be a goal line dropout. I'll be honest, I thought he'd come off the hands of Neil Chimambe, but as I'll always say, Revy's a lot closer than we are. He felt he'd come off the hand of a Sheffield Eagles man. Goal line dropout.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, similar to you, I did think Chimambe knocked that on, but that's the style of kick that's needed when you've got a winger as tall as he is.
6'7". 6'7".
Yeah, he's a big kid, and if you can get him up, Dawson Jones not bad in the air, but if you can get him up, you've got to back him in that situation. So those little box kick punts, that's what they need.
Takes a kind bounce from the goal line, drop out into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan, who then finds Noah High, who fetched it forward. 28 metres out here to Whitehaven. Went into the final 40 seconds of the first half. Comes left now to King, finds McCarren. McCarren keeps his legs pumping, put down 18 metres out to the left of the posts. Comes towards the middle now with King. King just obviously up to Hugh Worthington. Worthington's going to be taken down 11 metres out centre field. Ellis in there, a dummy half, going to come left to Carter. Carter looks to go where it came from. Running right hand side is Carter on his own. Is Jay Carter, gets the offload away in the hands of Lewis Baxter. I make it within the final 10 seconds. Baxter's then going to be taken down. This should be the final play of the half here. Can Whitehaven get over and reduce the deficit? Ellis is in there at dummy half, goes left into the hands of Mason. Mason then going to back where this came from. He's going to put a little kick forward. Kick isn't the best, and it's going to be Jesse Senelefeo that collects. I make a read stoppage time here at OLP.
Yeah, they're lacking a bit of idea, I think, with that set. It looked like a tired team attacking. There was a lot of individual sort of plays from it. Where lads having to come back on the inside because there's nothing really going from on the out on the edges. So, but they completed it and at least made Sheffield defend for a set. And it's now about D'ing up and trying to pin them back.
Halifax going to scoot from dummy half. He's going to be the man that's dropped up just short of halfway. Hanson's in there at dummy half. Goes left now into the hands then of Hodgson. And that's right. Well, if them on Farrells were high earlier on, that's got to be a high tackle. That's all I'll say on that. She's the 5 and last. Goes left into the hands of Aston. Aston's going to put it in. It's intercepted by Lachlan Hannigan. And good Hannigan be away on this right hand side. It's going to be where's Lachlan Hannigan. They are going to reduce the deficit. Jack Hanson's on the chase, mind you. Jack Hanson's on the chase. Has to step back inside. Here, all fairness to Jack Hanson. And then what is Lachlan Hannigan doing? What is Lachlan Hannigan doing? All he had to do was get up and play the ball. He tried to throw it back for the oncoming Joey Romeo, and you turn over possession. When it's not your day, Whitehaven, it isn't your day.
Yeah, it's typical that. I mean, the difference between why I want a high shot on Evan Hodgson, well, he didn't stop. He carried on running, whereas Joel Farrell's been stopping and telling ref I've been hit high. So, but yeah, Hannigan's made a bit of a mess of that one. Joey Romeo was up in support and he's tried throwing it ball, but it was never on.
Told you the hood, it was just behind us. Half time here at Olympic Legacy Park, and what a half it is. I would like to say it's what a half it's been for Whitehaven. What a half of misery it's been for Jonty Gorley's side. They've conceded 7 tries. Josh Mortimer, what will have been said at that half-time break?
They'll be talking about attitude, I think, and just trying to instill a bit of belief back in the boys. That they've got to shore up that right edge, but that comes from winning the ruck, and there's not been many contacts where they've won the collision and then won the floor off the back of that, and that's something they'll really sort of be having to double down on, I think, for this half. Just
waiting for the second half to get underway, waiting for referee Andy Sweet's whistle, and it's underway. Whitehaven with the kick-off, and it's going to be collected by Jack Hanson. Finds, I think it's Evan Hodgson now, the man to fetch it forward. He's going to be onto his front. Holly Feet still in there at dummy half. Going to come down this left hand side into the hands of Jesse Senelefeo. Lefeo's going to be wrapped up sort of 32 metres away from his own eye. Halifax then goes right into the hands. That's Blake Broadbent now, that's fetching it forward, centre field. It's going to be wrapped up, put down onto his back, 7 metres or so metres short of halfway. Halifax lining weight to dummy half, going to go right into the hands of Hanson. Hanson will take him over halfway, gets a pass away to Matty Marsh, then finds Wellham. Wellham's going to be pulled down. 38 out. Still another tackle at least left in this set. We haven't reached the 5 and last as of yet. Hansen now, obviously up then to Broadbent once more. And Broadbent's going to be wrapped up. 35 out. It is the 5 and last. Pretty much in the centre of the field. Comes left into the hands of Hansen and then Corey Aston. Aston's going to be the one to put the kick up high. Chimambe is there, takes it, and then he's going to have to throw it backwards. Well, he didn't have to. He lost it under the pressure of James Glover, and Jake Mason had to get there. And I thought we were always in for a worse start than we've seen from the first half from Whitehaven there, Josh.
Yeah, it's not what they wanted. It wasn't the best defensive set, but it wasn't the worst either. Chimambe is trying to take a kick there on his own 10. There wasn't a right lot of pressure on him until he sort of tucked up to try and take the ball, and when you've just spent 10 minutes trying to bowl the boys up, that's probably what they don't want.
The Eagles fetch it forward from the scoreline dropout, but down onto his back. Is it Evan Hodgson? Yes, it is. Halifa's in there at dummy half. He's going to come left. Corey Aston finds Senna Lefeo. He's going to be put down onto his throat. And 15 metres out here are the Eagles. Halifa's in there at dummy half, goes right. Aston's in middle of the field, just obviously up once, then takes it in line. Hansen with the dummy, and he's going to be wrapped up only just by McCarren. Worthington was in there as well. 3-4 metres out to the right of the post. Halifa then comes left into the hands of Bailey Lou. Scored a try, at least one try in last 3 appearances against Whitehaven, the Eagles. Pulled down short. Aston finds Matty Marsh then finds Glover. If he could have got the ball away to Matty Dawson-Jones, he was in for his 4th of the afternoon, but he's being wrapped up by Chimambe and Evans. It is the 5 and last. Senny Lefeo's in there at dummy half, 5 metres out. Goes right into the hands of Corey Aston. You'd imagine this is going crossfield, and it is. Willem misjudges that, does Joey Romeo, and it's going to be the 8th try of the afternoon. He didn't only just misjudge that a little bit, he completely misjudged it. Joey Romeo went over his head, and it's going to be Ben Jones-Bishop in on that right hand side for his 9th try of the season. It's Eagles 8th of the afternoon. Sheffield Eagles 46, Whitehaven 6.
Yeah, I don't know if Romeo got a bit too obsessed with Liam Wellham there and thought Wellham's going to out-jump him, so he's carved across to try and block his path and catch the ball, and just gone well underneath it with nowhere near it, and it's took quite a severe bounce, and Jones Bishop's let the highest to take it and sort of throw a leg up in the air and fall down, and it's really not what Whitehaven needed to start this half. And just looking at a few of them's body language now, again there's their hands on hips, and I do feel for the middles, I suppose, in the sense that they're the ones who keep having to make 5-6 tackles, and and then it's that defensive errors on the edges. But as a former middle, it's easy to blame a winger in that situation, but I know I never could do a better job, that is for sure. I couldn't catch a cold when we're in air, so that's, it's easy to stand and blame.
You mentioned the bounce. That's the bounce, only kind of a bounce you get on a 4G service, isn't it? It was, honestly, it went about 8 or 9 foot in the air following that.
Yeah.
Corey Aston.
Yeah, we'll blame the pitch. If that was a normal pitch, that's gone off the field.
Corey Aston remains 100% with the boot. He's 8 from 8 so far is Corey Aston this afternoon, and it is now the Sheffield Eagles 48, Whitehaven 6. I've just been having crack with Brad in front of me, the social media guy from the Sheffield Eagles. Said he'd be happy if Whitehaven keep it under 60, will you? I said I'll be very happy, and I wouldn't have taken that before the game, but it just shows you the position that Whitehaven find themselves in after 45 minutes. They've attempted to go short from this kick-off. Hannigan's taken out, as I think it's just a sort of, well, not taken out, it's sort of a collision between himself and James Glover, as both of them were going for the ball. It's not looking good for Lachlan Hannigan. It's not looking good for James Glover either, but I don't think there's anything in it. It's it's just one of them things. It's what they call, say, for example, in Formula 1, it's a race, an incident. Do you know what I mean? The both of them just sort of run into each other, looking high for the ball. So, got a stoppage in play here. We'll take the time then to run through the scores from elsewhere, because we've kicked off pretty much everywhere else in the second half. Make that we have now kicked off everywhere. Batley 10, Halifax 22. That's making the bottom of the table even tighter, isn't it? It's Doncaster 16, Barrow 12. Weir 12 and up. Barrow had got back to 12 in that one. Wakefield 18, Featherstone 12.
Come on.
Yeah, you'll be happy with that one.
Let's go.
Kamano, the scorer of the try for Featherstone in the second half. Widnes 4, Bradford 6, York Knights 12, Swinton 0, dropping down into League One. It's a full-time score of Newcastle 34, Cornwall 44. Then all second halves this one. Hunslet 12, Workington 22, Keighley 18, Midlands 12, and Rochdale 10, Oldham 8. Glover's back up and okay to continue. Lachlan Hannigan's just receiving some sort of checks from the doctor and physio here for Whitehaven. That'll be one player that definitely won't want to leave the field. You don't like changing your half, you don't like changing your spine position, and it would probably mean a complete reshuffle for Whitehaven if they did need to replace Lachlan Hannigan.
Yeah, I think King would probably have to go to half-back based
that was
on
my thinking,
the boys that they've got available. That's quite a severe shuffle. I mean, it doesn't look great that there's a lot of holding on neck and sort of twisting his jaw, and I hope he's all right. But they were a short kickoff, but I think Matty Marsh caught it on the 30, but there were nobody competing with him. It were a good enough hanging kick from Mason that really someone should have been there, and I think that probably sums up a bit of the way Whitehaven have been today. If you're going short, you've got to attack it, otherwise you're never going to get ball back. And they've got a 6'7" winger. I'd be saying drop it on him and let's have a go. So, but hopefully Hennigan's all right. If Jonty Gorley's looking at that, I'd probably be working out how I'm shuffling my team around.
Well, let's have a try then. King to 6. Potentially Rio Cork, maybe Hugh Worthington to 13 because he's playing as a prop at the minute. Do you bring a prop back on? Rio Corkill still hasn't entered the field as of yet. However, we don't need to do so. Lachlan Hannigan is okay to continue. Has got some bandage around his head, so normally, as soon as any sort of head issue, you do normally see it going for the HIA, but both of them okay to continue, both Glover and Hannigan. We're going to get back underway, and what we'll just tick over into the 46th minute in just a minute will be Matty Marsh to play the ball on the Sheffield Eagles 38 as he does now. Bailey Lou then the man to fetch forward. Going to be put down there. He's Bailey Lou. Noah High King involved in the tackle, and we've just got to stop it in play because he's played it. Well, back in the day, that used to be a penalty.
I mean, that's a pedantic one. He's been letting them go all game. Why would it matter now?
Why does it matter now? Like you say, it's, back in the day, it used to be a penalty for playing the ball off the mark. But these days, it's just to go back and play it where you're meant to.
Yeah.
But Lou now, he's going to be the man to play it once more. Goes right into the hands then of Hansen. Matty Marsh. Marsh looks a step back inside, steps up. Jake Carter.
It's got to be
obstruction. That's got to be. And referee Andy Sweet. Right. Sheffield Eagles have been very, very good this afternoon. They deserve to be 42 points in front. However, Josh Mortimer, right there, they don't deserve to be 46 points in front.
No, that was poor. Don't get me wrong, Matty Marsh has done a fantastic job, jinking in and out people and running through there. But he's ran round the back of one of his own men. I think it was the hooker.
I think it was Halliday.
And he's blatantly blocked the Whitehaven man coming across. That's a poor decision, but it's probably not going to have a bearing on the result. But with Whitehaven's league position, 6 points is 6 points, and they need it for the points difference. So, but you want them to get those sorts of decisions right, and that one's a poor one.
Yeah, it's not going to have a bearing on this game, but when you think of how tight it was last season, how tight it is this season, Whitehaven survived by a points difference of 3.
Yeah.
If that's the try that sends you down, Josh Mortimer, you could be very aggrieved. I mean, of course, there's obviously hundreds and different of tries and things that happen throughout the season, but it's them sort of moments you do come back to.
It is, and I think as well that probably sort of shows Whitehaven did a bit of protesting after that, but the one to right Lawton, had that been a 12-16 try or something like that, there would have been 17 lads around there, giving him a bit of a grilling there, and it's not the start Whitehaven needed for this half.
Certainly isn't, and they find themselves down. I think McCarren still having a little bit of protest in there, but conversion's already done. You're never going to make the referee change his mind, and it is now Sheffield Eagles 54. Whitehaven 6. Carter's going to attempt to go short once more. Chimambe's there, and it's going to be a knock on from James Glover. Did he come off the hand of Lachlan Hannigan first? We'll soon about to find out. I think it might have done. No, it's going to be
Whitehaven ball.
It's going to be a Whitehaven ball here. So they've done something slightly different there to Whitehaven. They fetched Chimambe in a little bit. You know, use your 6'6" winger. That might have been an idea on the first one.
Well, it was. You know, I mean,
something you called for, mind you. So they might be listening to you, Josh.
Maybe, yeah. He went for it, but he didn't get it. Hennigan got it, but you know, and then Glover's knocked it on. But at least they followed that one hard. It was a better kick from Mason. It went over the 10 and came back a little bit. So, you know, he got underneath it well and had a bit of whip.
So Ellis in there at dummy half. It was Carter that plays the ball. McCarren that's in there now. He's stopped short of the 30 as Rio Corkill does make his way onto the field now. He's replaced Hugh Worthington. He's got a little bit of limp on there, Worthington, as he's left the field. Hopefully nothing too serious, as it's King that's going to be wrapped up here. Centre field, sort of 22 out from the Eagles line. Hannigan offers it up, then finds Corkill fresh onto the field. He's wrapped up by 3, 4. I say wrapped up, he's pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and he's putting the touch there is Rio Corkill. And it's just, when you haven't had to do any defence in 49 minutes of this game, when you are required to, you're quite pumped up and eager to do so, Josh Mortimer.
Yeah, I mean, that's an energy-based effort, and you know, that's something Mark Aston will have been talking to his team all half time about. Will have been, yeah, we can score points, but I'm more bothered about, you know, let's have a shutout in the second half. And you know, that's the thing he'll like to see. A bit naive from Corkill really with his carry. You know, he's been a bit upright and he's let them manipulate him. And you know, where he was probably 15 yards in when his first initial contact, and there's no way he should be getting thrown into touch. So. But yeah, probably summing up Whitehaven's game at the moment. So, but you know, hopefully they can double down here and hold them out.
Well, if he goes right, finds Hansen out the back line to Marsh.
Yeah.
Marsh is going to lose that because it was the tackle from Joey Romeo, and it's going to be a scrum down, head and feet to Whitehaven. It'll be sort of 38 metres away from the Eagles line.
Yeah. I mean, they were stripped for numbers again. If that ball had gone to hand from Marsh, they're probably looking at another try. But you know, Romeo's coming off his edge again, and you know, he's clattered Matty Marsh and forced the error. So, you know, it's all they can ask for really. They're still trying, Whitehaven. There's no doubt about it. They're just probably badly outgunned.
So it comes right now into the hands then from the scrum to Will Evans. Evans is going to make it to the Sheffield 30. Ellie's in there at dummy half. 6 again called, so it's going to be a fresh set of 6. It's going to be Baxter. Baxter's then going to be wrapped up 22 metres away. Ellis then goes left now into the hands of King. King out the back to Carter. Carter then finds Jake Mason. Mason finds Curtis Tia. Tia's going to be finding his front. 6 again once more.
Ref evening it up. That's 2 that really weren't probably 6 agains, but he's given them, so we'll take them.
We'll take them as Noah High's the man now to be taken down just to the left hand side of the post. 2 or 3 metres out. Ellis in there at dummy half, goes left into the hands of Mason. Mason then comes back right into the hands now of King. King's just going to step up and try and take the line on. Sort of 8 metres out now of Whitehaven, just to the right hand side of the post. Comes now with a Hannigan. And there's nothing there on that right hand side edge. He's trying to twist out of the tackle there. He's the Whitehaven half back, but the Australians pulled down 2 metres short. Ellis in there at dummy half. He's going to go left into the hands of Mason. Goes across now to Carter. Carter offers it up to Owen McCarren. He slips on this 4G surface. 11 metres out. Left hand side of the post. Ellis is going to go left into the hands of Carter. Carter's going to put the kick forward. It's going to bounce his it. It's not. It bounced away from Mason. He should have put it down. He's lost that ball. It's Owen McCarren. Lachlan Hannigan.
Should be.
Try. Owen McCarren.
Yep.
So Carter put the kick through. It overran Jake Mason. Matty Marsh collected it. Marsh has tried to have been wrapped up. He's lost the ball in contact. Owen McCarren is the fastest to react, and the Australian goes over for his 2nd try of the season. I say go over. He had to dive on the ball.
He did. It's, you know, it's probably the best try he scored. We're a tired team attacking set. You know, again, they were very much sort of one out in what they were doing and often turning the ball back on the inside. It was a nice little banana kick that obviously was pre-planned. Mason came onto it well. I thought he probably could have done better. The ball must have touched him at some point.
Must have done.
You know, in a very sort of catchable position, and then Matty Marsh has probably tried to be too cute for his own good, really, and something that he'd only try when they're 40 odd points up. But he's tried passing the ball back to Jones Bishop. It's not gone right, and it's ended up floor. And McCarren showed plenty of effort in this game, and he's just showing a bit of desire there to dive on ball, and the lad deserves 6 points.
So Carter adds the extras. He's 2 from 2 this afternoon. It is now Sheffield Eagles 54, Whitehaven 12, and yet again Josh sort of come from nothing. Obviously Mason probably should have been the benefactor of that, but then they're able to take advantage. Whitehaven there on the slightest of error.
Yeah,
if they can make another 7 of them like that, we might get a game on.
That would be fantastic to see. I might get my shirt off and run round field celebrating.
Corey asked them with the kick-off. I do say that in jest, of course. It is Lachlan Hannigan that collects the kick-off. Noah High is now the man to fetch it forward. The Waddington Lawneys pushed back a metre or two by Titus Gwazi. He's fresh onto the field relatively recently as well.
Yeah.
As Chimambe is now the man to fetch it forward. He's being wrapped up 20 metres away from his own line. Ellis lining way to dummy half. Looked at it, cool, opened it up there for Lenny Ellis, and if he just had he looked in front of him, maybe then decided what he was going to do. He might have made some more metres there, but he made 10 metres, so well done to him. Lewis Baxter's now the man to fetch it forward, and he's going to be pulled down just short of the 40, and there's 2 marks there for the 40, so I don't know which one we're playing, but it's the 2 metres apart. So as Kingsdown made 12-13 metres before being pulled down just over the halfway, it's going to be the 5 and last. It's going to be a clean knock on there from Ryan King. King's going to protest. The Broadbent had his hands on it, but referee Andy Sweet not interested. Scrum down, head and feet to the Eagles.
Yeah, he's trying to be too cute for his own good there, was King. He put ball down to play it. Yeah, there might have been hands on it, but he were in no position to play it, so it's always going to squirt out that way, and ref wasn't having any of it. I don't know how old Noah High is. Is he relatively
teenager?
Yeah,
teenager.
Yeah. Well, I think he's got a bright future in game. Does the lad? He's playing above his weight. He's quite tall, but he's relatively slight. But he's fearless, and I like his work rate and his effort.
Ali Fee goes right from the base of the scrum, finds Hansen. Hansen offloads it into the hands, I think it could be Evan Hodgson. No, sorry, it's Glover in from the centre on halfway. Halifax goes right into the hands and a Titus Gwazi. Gwazi is going to be pulled down on that sort of 40 line where we're not too sure whether it's the 40 or the not. It is, I think. Comes left now into the hands and a Bailey Lou. Lou offloads, finds now Aston. Aston comes left into the hands of James Glover. Glover's going to put the kick in. Mason's going to have to be on the chase. Mason's going to have to be on the chase, and he's going to have to knock it dead because Dawson Jones was looking for his 4th of the afternoon. Good little slight play there from the Eagles, just putting their heads up and playing what's in front of them, Josh. Yeah,
very much so. I mean, but the confidence is sky high, isn't it? So they're just trying everything now, and there was no doubt about it. It was a smart little kick, but it's something you do when you're on the front foot. Had they not been on the front foot, they're probably just looking for a box finish or potentially a towering bomb, something that maybe caused a bit more havoc.
Goal line dropouts attempted to have gone short. It's all over the place. First knock on, I think, comes off Chimambe. I'll be completely honest. I think this should be a Sheffield ball. Yeah, it's going to be a Sheffield ball, and scrum down, head and feet. Chimambe can look wondrous and pond at all he wants, but it did go up for the ball. He just wasn't able to collect it cleanly. Scrum down, head and feet to the Eagles.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably a little bit with him there. I think he probably did knock it back just marginally backwards, but he's doing what he's there to do. He's 6'7", get up and get the ball, and he's done that. And then with his pat back, failed catch that's turned into a pat back. It's a bit unlucky, but the result is Whitehaven are defending the line.
So ball went right from the base of the scrum. Welland was wrapped up. He played the ball. Hansen now finds Gwazi. Gwazi is going to be the man that's taken down eventually. They're in line with the left-hand side post, 5-6 metres out. Halifax still in there at dummy half, goes right, knocked out from Ryan King. So it should be a fresh set of 6. Referee Andy Sweet. He put his arm up in the air. There we go, 6 again. Comes left now into the hands of Jesse Senelefeo. Senelefeo is going to crash over on that left-hand side. And it's going to be the former Castleford man's first try of the season. That's 2 former Castleford players that have scored their first tries of the season this afternoon against Jonty Gorley's Whitehaven. It's their 10th try of the afternoon into the 57th minute. They're still running at a point a minute in the moment out of Sheffield Eagles. More than a point a minute. It's Sheffield Eagles 58. It's Whitehaven 12.
Yeah, I'm pleased because Senelefeo is a really good bloke. he's big on the community side of things, and he'll do anything for anyone. He probably thought, he often talks about how blessed he is to still be playing rugby, and he's very happy with that. And you can tell by Sheffield fans is very much a crowd favourite. But defensively, there at Rio Corkill's, he stood flat-footed on line, and Senny Lefebvre's just sort of burrowed underneath him, and he needs to get forward and certainly get lower. You can't make an upright passive tackle in that situation.
So it's going to be Corey Aston who'll be looking to knock over his 10th successive conversion of the afternoon here at OLP. Just ticked over into the 59th minute, just short of the hour mark, and they're going at, like I say, I mentioned, they're going at around about a point a minute. Currently are the Sheffield Eagles. This is BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online. And that's Aston. Clock stopped. It took too long. Aston still taking his time, as it was the first conversion of the game. Just goes through his routine. Time is back on. 10 from 10 is Corey Aston. It is now Sheffield Eagles 60, Whitehaven 12. And I can't remember the last time Sheffield Eagles would have scored 60 in a league game. I remember a good few seasons ago at Post Office Road. You're going to say, which game I'm going on about. Was it 40 points to 60 or something like that, Josh?
Yeah, with my dad always badmouths Mark Aston. He said he cost Featherstone a lot of money and didn't return on investment.
Right.
So he doesn't have a lot of good things to say about Sheffield. And that's one of the very painful results that sort of sit in our mind, I think.
Yeah, it's just one that springs to mind. And when you think of that, but Chris Wellham's just nearly taken that in touch from the kick-off, and he then come back inside and it was wrapped up. Guaze is now the man to fetch it forward, centre field, 25 metres or so away from his own line. Halifax still in there at dummy half, so it looks like he's going to play 80. There's no one on to replace him on the bench. Foster all the back to Aston, who then finds Matty Marsh. Marsh then finds Glover. Dawson Jones throws his head back because he's wanting his 4 for the afternoon. Slow play the ball just over the halfway line. Marsh goes right into the hands end of Corey Aston. Aston opposite once, opposite twice, and then now finds Alex Foster, who's going to break down the middle. There is Alex Foster. Jake Mason's nowhere in sight, and Alex Foster's going to get his second of the afternoon. Chris Wellham might as well kept it earlier on, because that means Alex Foster's now gone in for his second of the afternoon, his second of the season. Eagles have scored their 11th of the afternoon, and they could continue at a rate. They're going to continue at this rate. They could easily hit 80 or 90, couldn't they, could the Sheffield Eagles. It's that bad of an afternoon for Jonty Gorley's Whitehaven. It's Sheffield Eagles 64, it's Whitehaven 12.
Yeah, they're just cutting loose, really. We've said it a couple of times, when you're scoring that many points, you're playing an expansive game, because your confidence is sky high, and you're very happy with prepared to risk things. And every other play, they're playing a risky sort of shot, and it's the day. And obviously you've got a nice fast track on this 4G pitch that you can do anything with, really. And that sort of come from nothing, really. It's a bit of a reload back to middle at field, and Foster's just shown a bit more desire to get through the line than the lads who in the line trying to tackle him. And and then he's scampered him from 30 out, and there won't be many times that happens to Foster in his what's left of his career, and I'm sure he's very happy with himself about that one. But yeah, not a lot really you can say about where Whitehaven are at defensively. They're doing it tough.
And as you can tell, Corey Aston knocks over his 11th conversion of the afternoon, and I'm just doing some little research here, and as you can see, I've pulled up Wikipedia, and I'm checking most goals in a game and most points in a game. And currently, the record for the Sheffield Eagles is 14, which is done by Brambani back in, imagine what is a Challenge Cup tie back in 2013 against Lee East. And most points in the game is 32 versus Fulham going back to 1986. If Aston carries on like this, Aston can get over for a couple and knock over all the goals, he could be in for a few records this afternoon. That's not something I imagine to be checking this afternoon, I'll be completely honest. But here at Olympic Legacy Park, it is Sheffield Eagles 66, Whitehaven 12. Whitehaven attempt to go short again. Chimambe is going to try and get there, but they've cottoned on, and Ben Jones Bishop was trying to get there. It's going to be a knock on. It got knocked back. Corkill was trying to get there. He knocked it backwards initially, but they're not able to collect it at the second attempt. Scrum down, head and feed. Eagles just short of halfway.
Yeah, when you look down, that sort of thing happens. You've got a back, and yeah, you've got 4 or 5 lads stood round it, and no one can gather it up cleanly. Yeah, as you say, talking records that with the way that Sheffield are playing, that they genuinely look a threat on every time they're touching the ball.
The only thing I'm glad to say is it looks like the highest score won't be taken, because it was 112 points against Lee East on that afternoon when Brambani hit 14. So that's the only thing I'm glad in saying, is that looks like that one won't be.
No,
it won't be in danger. But there's a couple of records out there for the Eagles if they want them, especially for Corey Aston. I mean, he won't know that, but Tyler Dickinson's fresh onto the field now, back onto the field, and he's the man to fetch this forward here. This is BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online. 17 minutes to the full-time hooter. It's Sheffield 66, Whitehaven 12. Senny Lefeo's now the man to fetch it forward. He's put down onto his back, is Senny Lefeo, but then able to turn round in the tackle, find his front and get a fast play of the ball. Halifi goes right into the hands of Gwazier. Gwazier looking for Foster. He bounces into the hands of Matty Marsh. When you looks up, as you said, Josh. If that was Whitehaven, Matty Marsh, if Matty Marsh would have collected that and run 80 metres the other way. Yeah. Halifi goes right, gets it back from Dickinson, now finds Hansen finds then Bailey Lou. Aston goes right. Chris Wellen comes back to where it came from. Defences are sort of at 6s and 7s. There's gaps where there shouldn't be gaps and plays where there shouldn't be plays, but Wellen's wrapped up 10 metres out. It's the 5 and last. Going to come left now into the hands of Aston with a double pump. Matty Marsh, they're in for the 12th of the afternoon here are the Sheffield Eagles. They've hit 70. Just gone over in the 64th minute. Sheffield Eagles 70, Whitehaven 12.
Yeah, it's anybody who watches WAF Brow quite often, it's a play that they play really well with Cole Walker-Taylor. They play a little double pump, and it's they often bite into line with the back rower, and then Cole Walker-Taylor sort of glides through a gap in between the pair of them once they've engaged defenders, and that's exactly what Sheffield have done there with Matty Marsh. It's a very good play. It's something we try replicate at the Acon, and we even call Brow, which is how well they do it. But yeah, it's a very difficult to play to defend. You often find that it works better against better defences, because they're more switched on to your ball runners or someone ghosting around the back, and then when someone just glides in between rather than crossing, switched on defenders sometimes fall foul to it, and obviously Whitehaven have fallen foul there, and it's an easy crash over for Matty Marsh.
I don't know why, but I've just told the Sheffield guy in front of him, by the way, this could happen, just so you're aware of it. I've told him about potentially Aston's records, just share what, share not, what not. Yeah. So that's what Matty Marsh was. So that's Marsh. That's his 4th of the afternoon. So he's gone from 12 tries to 16 tries so far this season. So far this afternoon is Matty Marsh. We've got the clock stopped. Aston. I've already wrote down he's converted this year, so I hope he does. Just because then I don't have to scrape my notes. But in favour of Whitehaven, I hope he doesn't. But he has. He's 12 from 12. And it's now Sheffield Eagles 72. Whitehaven 12. I'm going to try and take my mind off things. Let's have a look at scores elsewhere. It's Batley 10, Halifax 22. Hell of a game elsewhere in South Yorkshire. Doncaster 26, Barrow 24. Wakefield 36, Featherstone 12. Widnes 16, Bradford 6. York 28, Swinton 0. Drop down into League 1. Hunslet 18, Workington 32. Keighley 24, Midlands 12. Rochdale 10, Oldham 8. I was just about to say that kick's neither here nor there, but it's bounced back in the favour of Whitehaven, and Lachlan Hannigan's collected.
It were that bad, it were good.
Yeah, but that comes, and we said in the first half, earlier on, that feels like that long ago, for Ben Jones Bishop's try, it bounced about 10 foot up in the air again, so it's just playing on this 4G surface.
Anybody else's would have just skipped on there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Comes left, Castle now finds Carter then gets it across to McCarren.
He's tried hard.
McCarren's going to be taken down 10-11 metres out to the left of the post, coming back towards the middle now with Carter, then finds Noah High with a little shimmy, but he's going to be put down just in line with the right hand side post now, 6 or 7 metres out, goes left and into the hands of Ross Ainley. It's called the forward pass from Lenny Ellis, and when it isn't your day, you give a forward pass 10 metres, maybe it's going down head and feed to the Eagles.
Yeah. Wasn't quite sure if it was, but as I say, ref's a lot closer than us. But it's one of them where Ross Ainley sort of turned half back for it, and they're always giving us a forward pass in that situation. So unlucky for Whitehaven. They finally got a bit of field position, putting a bit of threat on, and unfortunately they've come up with the error.
So the Eagles fetching the ball forward now. It's well in the trap up, and it's going to be a penalty. And I've had that many notes, I'm going to have to turn my page back over to say it. So right, not making a note of that penalty for the Sheffield Eagles, and Hansen going to have an opportunity to bang this ball into touch. He's made nearly 40 metres with that kick.
Yeah.
As there, then it's like say when your confidence is up, you're happy to put it on and such things like that. And
it's come from a forward pass 5 yards in front of the Sheffield try line to starting the set on Whitehaven's 40, and it can't. Being a realist, I can't see anything other than another Sheffield 6-pointer.
Jesse sending the fail. Sorry, it's Alex Foster.
It's the man bun.
Hansen goes right into the hands end of Tyler Dickinson. Tyler Dickinson, he's going to try and push his way over there, searching for his second try of the season. Hansen's in a dummy half. Goes right into the hands then of Corey Aston. Aston then gets it over the Titus Quasi. They're in for the 13. It's going to be under the sticks. Sheffield Eagles 76, Whitehaven 12, and it's absolute demolition. Now, if Whitehaven capitulate here, and I mean if they capitulate, Whitehaven could concede their most amount of points. Now that was, I'm glad to say it's not going to happen because it was 100 and odd against Wigan. But if the Eagles carry on, it's not going to be far off. That's how bad of an afternoon Whitehaven are having here. It's Sheffield Eagles 76, Whitehaven 12, Josh.
Yeah. As we said from the start of the tap, you couldn't see anything other than Sheffield scoring there. They've been very good today. I think they've made 1-2 maybe errors, or certainly yardage errors. Only one, probably that Ed Batty play-up ball in the first half, and they really are putting them under pressure. And in that situation, they've just played across to a cross from the try line off of Dickinson's carry, and Gwazi's the lead runner on the second cross. And it's when you're 70 odd points up, you come onto it a little bit harder because you're expecting things to happen, and that's what Gwazi's done there. He's sort of carved between two arm reaching tackles that, had it been a tighter fixture, you're probably expecting Whitehaven to come up and make those tackles. But yeah, Sheffield are just sky high at the moment.
As you can tell from around us, the music, Aston was able to add the extras. There's only one short now, we're levelling that record. It's Sheffield Eagles 78, Whitehaven 12. He's 13th and 13 with the boot. Is Corey Aston. This is BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. There's around about 10 minutes to go here. And Aston is going to collect from the kickoff. It's now then forwarded by Tyler Dickinson. Dickinson's going to get through Chimambe. And then he's wrapped up 22 metres away. Senny Lefeo's in there at dummy half. He's going to scoot from dummy half. He's Senny Lefeo, former Cast Tiger. He's made sort of 10 metres. Hansen's in there at dummy half now. Going to go right. Gwazier once more. And then the ball was looking to be passed, and a little bit lax with there with the Eagles, and that's probably one of the first mistakes they have made, trying to bring the ball out from their own line. Carter's collected, Newton's back out there, and then they're going to be pinned for offside, and that word will be from Mark Aston is that we don't concede anymore. Like you say, I think what they're trying, the points difference is a positive. Obviously the 2 points is done. It's now all about pride. What can we do when we have been the best side for 70 minutes? Can we stick to our mettle, Josh Mortimer?
Yeah, absolutely. I accept, and as well that they should have plenty of energy. They've not done a lot of D in this game, and that there should be no excuses from a fatigue point of view. And probably Mark Aston and probably want them to do a few sets just D'ing up and get a proper workout out of them.
Whitehaven looking to offload there. James Newton nearly lost that off to the offload, so Lachlan Hannigan in there comes right now into the hands end of Ross Ainley. Ainley's going to be the man wrapped up. 5-6 metres out here to Whitehaven, 15 in from this right hand side touchline. Newton didn't look to know what he's going to do with it. He's going to have to just be wrapped up there, James Newton. I think that just yet again sums up Whitehaven's afternoon all up. He didn't know what to do with it, James Newton, go left or right or do anything. Hannigan finds Carter, then finds Jake Mears, and Curtis Tier looking to come back inside. Tier finds on his front. They're going to be the 5 and last. Carter It's going to then find Hannigan. Yet again, he didn't know what to do with it. Hannigan doesn't really know what to do with it. He then puts a little kick forward, comes off the hand of Glover. It's going to have to be knocked back.
Try. I think so. Yeah.
Will Evans, and Whitehaven, and I say this in the nicest way possible. Whitehaven, they've scored 3 tries. They've had to do absolutely nothing for them all year. They haven't had to do a single thing for them. That is a try. He was trying to be knocked back. It wasn't knocked back far enough, and Will Evans is able to dive on the ball, and it's his 4th try of the season. And it's now Sheffield Eagles 78, Whitehaven 16.
Yeah, they chased hard. There's no doubt about it. And Jake Carter took it to the line, refused to kick, passed it round to Hennigan, who then looked like he was going to kick to Chimambe in the corner, and sort of changed his mind and grubbered it through, and Corkill and Evans chased hard, and Matty Marsh has made a bit of a mess of things. He's still down injured and seems to be holding it, certainly his lower leg, and then Evans has just dived on a loose ball again, and I think defensively Whitehaven have been found lacking, but I don't think they've lacked effort. They've certainly had players on the field who've tried their socks off all afternoon, and certain things like that. You create your own look, and as you say, they've scored 3 tries without really doing a right lot. But they've worked hard, and they haven't deserved to be nilled, so they deserve those 3 tries from my point of view.
So Jake Carter able to have the extras. So we've had 16 tries. Every single one of them's been converted. Don't say that all that often. So it's now Sheffield Eagles 78, Whitehaven 18. I'm just trying to find any sort of positive just to try and find on it, because it's been that sort of afternoon. I didn't quite catch the attendance. I'll make sure I grab it at the end. 833. The Sheffield Eagles Twitter feed just about to put on. I can see in front of us. Matty Marsh with the man of the match. I think that's really harsh on Corey. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, when you do score 4 tries, you know, if you didn't get man of the match, you'd be disappointed. So I understand why it's been given to Matty Marsh, but I think Corey Hassan's had the absolute, he's stepped up. And he might not have done it previous weeks. I don't know. I haven't seen what the Sheffield's done in previous weeks, but in the absence of Anthony Fackley, he's really stepped up and been a leader for his side this afternoon. However, is going to be a penalty for Whitehaven. And you said about earlier on about evening up, and to be fair, the game hasn't been that penalty happy because Sheffield haven't had the chance to really give that many penalties away. But means Jake Carter gets an opportunity now to knock it into touch. He's found 20 plus metres, and it's going to be an opportunity for Whitehaven here to take a tap on their own 40, and it's going to be Tian, and now takes a tap and fetches it forward. He's going to make 12, 13, 14 metres there. He's Curtis Sear. Newton in a dummy half, over halfway. Carter now. Obviously up once, obviously up twice. Now they're back to Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan then gets it across to Rio Corkill. Bit of blood coming from the right eye of Lachlan Hannigan. Newton's in there at dummy half. They're 38 metres out from the Sheffield Eagles line. Lucas Castle. He's looking to fetch it forward, he's the Australian, but he's wrapped up sort of 32 metres out now. In centre field, Newton in there at dummy half. Comes right down into the hands of Hannigan. Finds them Rio Corkill. Will Evans was a bit too back from my liking, so Corkill had to fetch it forward. Not that there was too much on his right hand side. Newton goes left then into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan runs across the line into the hands now of Carter. Carter's looking for the kick behind the back, and it's going to have to be dealt with by Ben Jones-Bishop, and he kicks it dead for the goal line dropout. There wasn't too much pressure being put on him by Joey Romeo, but he did force for the goal line dropout. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it was a good set. It was a good set for coming off scoring points. He always run a complete and finish with a good kick, and obviously they got that penalty that gave him a little of a leg up upfield, but they're still trying. Castle's working hard in middle. That man Noah High still going strong, and it's a good little kick in from Carter, and Jones Bishop's had to put it out.
Goal line dropout, takes a bounce. He bounces away from Chimambe, and it's collected on the second attempt by Corkill, and he's going to be forced back onto his own 40. Hannigan still with that blood flowing from his eyes in there at dummy half. 6 again called by referee Andy Sweet. And Whitehaven's actually had more 6 agains.
And that were high. If those on Joel Farrell were
There's
high,
the penalty. And it's actually for the arm in rather than a high tackle. Well, I think he's maybe realised he's made a mistake and said, I'm going to have to give a penalty to something.
Yeah. Well, they were miles offside. They give him a club in as they were carrying, and then they give him a club in on floor. But Yeah, as I said, I think Noah he's got a bright future in the game. Is he a Cumbrian or?
He's a Cumbrian. He's a sort of Barrow way, Dalton, just outside of Barrow. He's spent a few years at Warrington. His mum, I believe, actually made the move business and everything to make sure he could try and get a better start for his rugby, and it paid off for him. And he's been at Warrington for the last few seasons, and the young man is in his 6th Whitehaven appearance. Scored 2 tries on his debut, did the young man. Well, it's going to be a penalty here for Whitehaven. Lachlan Hannigan is now the man to put it into touch, and Whitehaven's going to have an opportunity to start this set 20 metres out from the Sheffield Eagles line. Evans takes the tap. Hannigan then finds Noah High once more, so no ill effects of that shot that he's taken, and happy to get right back in and try and take his side forward. Newton's in there at dummy half, comes right to Hannigan. Hannigan runs it to the line with the dummy, and Whitehaven go over for their 4th of the afternoon. Combined 100 points scored here at the Olympic Legacy Park this afternoon. They haven't been shared all that evenly, let's be completely honest, but Hannigan goes over for his 4th. It's his 7th, Whitehaven's 4th of the afternoon. It's Hannigan's 7th of the season, and it's now Sheffield Eagles 78, Whitehaven 22.
Yeah, a bit of a case of what if. I mean, Whitehaven have probably had 4 sets in Sheffield's red zone, as you call it, and they've come up with 4 tries. And I don't think they told Sheffield that, but they're playing the team that scores last wins game, I think. So
are we playing schoolground rules? Yeah, can we do that?
That's it. Yeah, last try's the winner. So, but no, I mean, I think they're not giving up. They're certainly not giving up. So Jonty Gorley's got to be pretty happy with that. Mark Aston's probably not going to be too happy with some of the defensive efforts from Sheffield, having really not been tested defensively for a lot of the game. But Hennigan's deserved it. He's worked hard. He's got a bit of blood coming from his eyebrow, and they're working hard.
Full time at Mount Pleasant, Batley 16, Halifax 22. Full time at Bellevue, Wakefield 46, Featherstone 18. Carter clips the post and goes over, so we remain 100% from both. 17 tries, all of them converted. Sheffield Eagles 78. Whitehaven 24, and I'm trying to rack my brains. Last time I was at a game with more than 100 points, Josh. It won't have been. They don't happen all that often. No. Elsewhere in the Championship, Doncaster 32, Barrow 30. Hell of a game, it seems like. Elsewhere in South Yorkshire, still elsewhere in the Championship, Widnes 19, Bradford 6, York Knights 34, Swinton 4, Hunslet Mountain a late comeback, Hunslet 24, Workington 32, Keighley 36, Midlands 12, Rochdale 10, Oldham 12. Kickoff's going to be along the floor. Nearly took the bounce there. If it goes over Chamambe, he bounces high, and it nearly did there. And the young man is trying to get the offload away. He does, into the hands then of Hannigan. Hannigan had a little bit of pain on his face there as he hit the floor.
Yeah.
And Senna Lefebvre was in then, all that tackle. He's getting up slowly. He's okay though. Doesn't seem to have caused too much damage. As Will Evans now looking to fetch it forward. Hits up with Guazier. Newton in there at dummy half. Comes right down into Chamambe, and Chamambe, it was a sort of meeting of minds there, wasn't it? Yeah. Senna Lefebvre on Chamambe. Comes let right now once again into the hands then of Rio Corkill. Sort of 2 or 3 metres short when he's pulled down there is the former Barrow Raider. Newton in there at dummy half. Goes left to Mason. Mason looking for an option. Finds Owen McCarren. McCarren looking to come back inside. Slips there, McCarren, but able to recover his feet. And he's going to be wrapped up. I make it within the final 20 seconds. However, I think we're probably a little bit over here at OLP, so maybe about a minute or so left. It is the 5 and last. Whitehaven to go for it. Tia then finds Romeo. Romeo's trying to come back inside, looking for the offload. And to be fair to the Sheffield Eagles, they made sure they've got numbers there, despite us being in a couple of points and them being 54 points ahead.
Yeah. They've showed a good bit of defensive scramble, but Whitehaven have had a pretty enterprising set there. Again, there's a few lads looking a bit bust up, but they've worked hard. They create a bit of a chance on the last tackle. If Romeo could have potentially got that kick away, they could have been scrambling again. But it's all ifs and buts, isn't it? The issue for Whitehaven hasn't been their attack this game. It's their defence.
The hoot is about to go behind me. Hansen's in there at dummy half. It is the final play. Aston looking for the kick over the top to James Glover. Is he going to bounce kindly? It isn't. Mason's just happy to wrap it up and taking it to touch. So Corey Aston doesn't get his record. He's going to fall agonisingly short, but that's not something I was hoping. I was going to say at the start of the afternoon, but it's full time here at the Olympic Legacy Park. It's finished Sheffield Eagles 78, Whitehaven 24.